Today's show is all about feeling younger, but right now you might be part of a vicious cycle that's keeping you fat and tired and feeling old. And the culprit? Your cravings. With me, Dr. Mike Dow, is a psychotherapist and author of Diet Rehab, who has a 28-day plan to stop you from craving the foods that are making you heavy, making you fat. So, Mike, thanks for joining us again.
Thanks, Dr.
Talk about cravings. Why do folks have cravings, especially for foods that aren't good for us?
Well, recent studies have shown that food is indeed addictive. So fats release dopamine in the brain, carbohydrates and sugars release serotonin. So they actually are making you feel really good in the brain, but what they also do is they leave the stomach much more quickly than healthier foods. Yeah. So they're giving you this addictive amount of neurochemicals while leaving your stomach very quickly. That's why I call them pitfall foods, because they keep you locked down into a food addiction.
So you say we can retrain our brain.
Yes.
In a way, help us avoid that pitfall.
Yes.
How does that work?
What we really have to focus on in Diet Rehab, I talk about it is more important in what you add to your life rather than what you take away. So when you start to fill your life with serotonin and dopamine booster foods, they're going to give you sustainable amounts of serotonin and dopamine, and you pair them with the serotonin and dopamine booster activities, so you're not just getting that feel-good comfort piece from what you're eating, but you're also getting it from your relationships, and the booster foods leave your stomach much more slowly, so you're not going to be hungry as much.
So I've got a list of booster foods. I'm going to put them up on the screen here. They're all going to be on DrOz.com, so you don't have to go off and write them down. I do want you to print out that page off DrOz.com and take it with you when you go grocery shopping. We broke them down to grains and protein and dairy. You got all that stuff. It's very easy to make this part of your life. So if it's okay with Mike, I want to go over and demonstrate exactly what he's talking about, because I want you to remember this. I want this ingrained in you, and then we're going to talk about exactly how you're going to apply this 28-day plan to your life. So come on over. Let's talk a little bit about booster foods and pitfall foods and what the differences are and how they affect our brain and our stomach. So Mike, you get to be the pitfall foods.
Yes.
Okay. I get to be the very noble booster foods. Okay, so we are both pouring our foods into our stomach at the same time. Our stomach's right here, brain's up here, obviously. All right, now watch what happens when we pour the foods into the stomach. You'll notice that there's a very different rate at which they come out of our body, and it affects our brains in very different ways. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
To go.
Let's do it.
Pour it all in there. Now, you notice you're pouring through really quickly. Your brain lit up immediately. It's much brighter than my brain. Big dose of serotonin and dopamine, very addictive. The lighting up reflects that. That's fantastic. But the food is pouring through your stomach. It's almost that. I've got very little through my stomach still. So as this food leaves your stomach and just finished, you start to crave and your light goes out. You want to crave again. You burn brightly but briefly. Now, I didn't burn as bright, but I'm still burning, and I got a lot more that I can give. Because my booster foods, they are still in my stomach. And this is going to stay in my stomach for a long time, so I will feel fuller for longer. I won't eat as much, and I won't crave as much. That all makes sense? Okay, you want to be here and not over there. So, Mike, come on over. Let's get to the 28-day plan. Yes. Folks, this is simple, applicable. You can do this today. It is not difficult. Okay, week one is to swap out the salt. Why would you pick on salt?
Salt is one of those pitfall foods. It really recalibrates our taste buds. And what food companies do, they use this technique called food layering. So they flavor layer the fat, the high sugar, the carbohydrates with the salt. So now you're getting all that stuff going on in the brain. You're going to recalibrate your taste buds to crave those high salt foods, which of course is going to put you at risk for all those awful diseases, heart disease, hypertension, high blood pressure, because that's what you're craving, because that is how you have recalibrated your brain and your body with this pitfall food.
So what can we swap the salt out for?
Well, this is the gateway drug. It gets you going into all those awful pitfall foods, and these are the booster flavorings.
All right. So this is a big part of Mike's program. You can have as much of this stuff as you want, and as we go through the program, you'll see that's why it's easy, because we're not limiting stuff. Okay, week two on this plan is to pair your snacks up but you want to pair up booster snacks and pitfall snacks. So explain that.
That's right. So what I want you to do, I want you to pair those familiar pitfall foods I know you all like to eat. I used to love to eat them myself. And if you're not used to it, you can pair it. I call it sandwiching, because you're really mixing some of the pitfall and the booster together.
Yeah. So very specifically, and I want to be concrete about this because we can all do this. If you take potato chips with a soup, you can get a little bit of both. You'll get your hit. If you wish, from the pitfall, but you've gotten the good stuff because you're training yourself for week three, where you replace the pitfall foods with 3 booster foods.
That's right. So in week 3, Dr. Oz, what I really want you to do is try to do 3 swaps. So swap out 3 of your pitfalls for 3 boosters. So, for example, you could do a meal and 2 snacks.
It's doable. And you can have 2 pitfall foods, main courses.
That's right.
I'm only asking you to make one change out here.
That's right.
This is all building up to week 4.
So week 4, Dr. Oz, in week 3, we've asked you to sort of, kind of cut down. In week 4, this may be the hardest because we're going to really ask you to say that all of your meals should be booster foods.
Your main courses.
Your main courses, your meals. You can still have a couple Pitfall snacks every day, 1 or 2 servings, that's fine. But what's really amazing about this program and this 28 days that you're really going to be recalibrating your taste buds, you will start to crave healthier foods because you've done it slowly. So go ahead. It's not about what we're taking away, it's what we're really adding.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.